Alliance's turn to pick.
They've been
newly 11k MMR.
Basically the same situation in terms of countering the illusion heroes. Can be a strong laner and allows the laner, if it is going to be that 4 laner, can easily sit behind the Underlord. If it is going to be the laner flex, because again that's what they've set themselves up for right now, they're going to decide mid or 4. And overall pretty nice. I don't mind it after watching Secret play today and how they had a lineup that wasn't really active, but it was super good at punishing that 1 over aggression at a defensive position, and then
The enemy is banning.
Could be offlane Void Spirit, I suppose. I know Ramses can play it. I'm just not sure what direction they'll go.
It's
it could
very
also just be
open,
crit
right?
offlane.
Yes.
Yeah, it could be Ramses on Doom off.
There we
it
go.
could be Doom mid. It could be Void Spirit for crit. Like we really
exactly. That's where there's double like the Void and open, because they can play in so many roles. Especially
they need that kind of flexibility, even though they know that they're going to be laning up against a Sven IO, because usually that kind of offlane flex potential is like, well, let's see what the carry matchup is going to be before we commit to one of these things.
it's more about like like an insurance policy, knowing, okay, what are we gonna, like, you see 4 picks, right? You get to decide quite confidently. If you didn't have that option of flex in your draft, you wouldn't have that kind of openness going into your final pick. It just keeps your kind of mindset on the game a little bit more open, your playbook, your timings.
And we are leaning, what, 4 position Lina, what's the situation here? Because I feel like Alliance are more often than not giving it to Hanskin. They find more utility and not giving it core role. You have the stun no matter what. Unless if it's a Phoenix where you need the attack speed to kill the egg, it's not really critical to give her a high farm priority.
It's hard to say. I know for a fact it's one of Limp's favorite heroes, dating all the way back to Heroes of North. You can see EG banning out the mid heroes, so they expect, you're correct, that Hans's going to be on the Lina. I think it's more likely, especially when you have a carry Sven. It's just kind of, you look at this and you see Sven and Underlord as heroes that Lina wants to play around, so it makes more sense for it to be a support in that sense. I'm just not sure what hero Limp would play in this spot. I was thinking maybe a Death Prophet, but they just haven't picked that for him in a while.
Well, they have last pick for Alliance, so right now that they can decide between a mobility core to get onto the Arc Warden to lock him down, setting up the relocate, or they can go for like a vision-based mid like Zeus that can just, okay, that's Arc Warden, relocate, go on him right now type of situation. Especially with Sven going for Axe, it's hard to really kite him. He can always get into the bubble because, again, you're Stormhammer. EG though, they now have to decide what's happening with this Doom.
Dude, what about a Wyvern? I keep saying Wyvern. I don't know what's wrong with the hero. No one picks it.
No.
But I see a Sven, I see a Wisp. Like, damn, that'd be pretty sick.
It's very good at prolonging the game, defending those early towers. Alliance doesn't have Wavelet. Yeah, I'm a little bit of a fan. They go for a Tusk. Doom will be offlane now, Void Spirit mid. And now Alliance basically can go, okay, what is our mid laner? What type of game plan are we going for?
That makes Lina mid, I think, really unlikely, just because there's so much save now. And the biggest problem with Lina as a core is that no matter how far ahead you are, you're never durable. So if you just get caught out, punched, kicked, no bolt cut off, you're just dead, even if you're 2 items ahead. I think it's got to be Kanskin now. You're thinking about a hero for Limp. I feel like you want that kind of utility. I lean towards Death Prophet. It could also, you could go back for something like a TA perhaps, but that's really greedy.
Yeah, that's very greedy, I think.
You'd love to have some early tower pressure if you could.
Which of the EG heroes do you think has not been answered yet? Like, do you have enough anti-Orc Warden?
Yeah, Arc Warden.
The Arc Warden's your biggest issue right now, especially the way EG play.
Could you go for like an SF type situation, going for like the Blink Yours type build? You're the one who can just jump in. Again, it feels very clunky.
Your hero.
EG and Alliance's previous showings in this tournament so far, they're looking pretty even. So this Lina, it's going to have to be a game changer, it seems.
My expectation would just be you put the Lina mid, and then your Jakiro and Io support duos, and then the Jakiro Underlord together can just constantly push out the wave and force it under tower for Arc.
I'm just worried. How do you keep EG off of you, right? They're going to throw the Grimstar Cult. Doom, run forward. Tusk, go forward. Void Spirit, leap forward. You have these 3 squishy heroes in the back. How does a Sven and an Underlord, like, that's not enough. They're just going to ignore you and run past.
The main reason for the Jakiro pick is because it's the counter to Tusk, right? In lane, the tag team, you attack slow, so it's going to enable that Sven. So if they want to do a tri-lane, it will be Sven, Io, Jakiro, and keeping him safe. Underlord just passively farms by himself, very strong at that. And then Lina will be, I believe, your mid in this situation. Again, like you said, it's hard to, how do you actually stop the rebuttal? They have a lot of soft, like, defense in terms of root, Ice Path and stuff, but
yeah, I have to lean towards EG though. I feel like they've got the late game advantage. I think if they run at each other and everybody uses their spells, EG just win the fight.
I would agree.
Like, you just Doom off, even just one, it wouldn't matter. Void Spirit's going to get his spells off.
There's a lack of early damage as well. Like, it's like the big burst comes from like the Lina, and other than that, it's a lot of tick, a lot of like slow damage. And when you have these heroes that don't even want to really play in the fight, Void Spirit Arc, they can like poke from a distance and instantly get out. They love playing against this type of damage because there's that not hard punishment.
However, if Alliance can play ahead, they can get some early towers and just sort of crush through the map, as we've seen other teams utilize Wisp and do so, you can just play too high tempo, right? Arc Warden's not going to be able to get out on map. And if Doom's on cooldown, like, you have no fear from this hero. EG suffer in a sense that they're somewhat cooldown reliant, and it could punish them.
But they Arc Warden, the fail safe, the eventual Alliance high ground.
Fine, they're going to bulldoze their way through. No problem at all. Either that or Arceus Arc Warden's going to carry us over. We'll see how they do in game number 1.
Alliance versus Evil Geniuses, a matchup that has gone the test of time in Dota 2, and at least one person has a little bit more experience than the others, but we're going to watch FNG give away the first blood before we talk about...
Oh no, that's actually second.
Oh,
so...
Okay, GPK actually already got picked off, so that would be first blood for Alliance instead.
Yeah, that's...
All right, worthy trade.
Yeah, that's definitely worth the trade.
Now we get the goods.
So are we going to have Jakiro mid? We are.
Oh, wow. That's interesting. Okay. So what Kyle was saying about running around the map and just closing in the map with the Wisp, that is definitely viable with this hero being new. I mean, the tower pressure coming out from this hero with the levels in his third spell.
Yeah.
That's going to be pretty immense. I think they can definitely death ball in this one.
So, do you think this is a winning mid, though? Because you, Jenkins, we were talking about, like, what is Limp going to be playing? Is this a core IO? Is he going to be playing mid Jakiro, mid Lina? And the conversation obviously came to his mid Lina and how, while he's really good with that hero, it's just not a game-winning hero.
It's it can feel like pretty hot garbage when it comes to the late game, and you have this extremely squishy hero with all of your net worth. She never really gets enough items that she's unkillable, but This Shakiro, it's, you know, probably a little bit tankier than Alina, and it actually is a counter to the Void Spirit mid. Ramses?
I think Ramses might be dead. It's he's certainly going to be taking a lot of damage over a long period of time here. He still has the Fairy Fire. He can eat another Tango. He's actually got a healing salve. I almost think he should have devoured the melee creep that he was tethered to. You know, just to slow down that IO. He's going to live, but like, is it really worth it?
What is it really being alive?
Yeah.
Man.
You can see the change in the Devour, the nerf that got. What,
one.
one regen?
Yep.
It's pretty rough.
Yeah. That's not a hero you expect to be difficult to cut the creep wave against. I think that's why he didn't wait to devour there, because it's like, it's a wisp.
Yeah.
What can a wisp do? It's like, oh wait, he's got a lot of move speed now. He just pokes you to death.
Yeah.
Not quite.
All right, get back to the mid.
Yeah,
Is this a game-winning hero or is this a game-losing hero, Jenkins?
No, I legitimately think this is pretty good. I mean,
Okay.
like Jakiro as a mid, generally speaking, is it's not the fastest of heroes. It's not going to run around killing people. It'll take tower. It's like a Dragon Knight, another dragon, but it does counter the Void Spirit. This is what people were doing when Void Spirit was just put out into the game. Was people were picking Jakiro mid as a counter because this is all magic damage.
Yeah.
You just spam him with magic, and his shield doesn't do a single thing.
And a major lane winner, right? Any melee hero that goes up against Shakiro is probably going to lose. Hanskin missing out on that LSA. Nice juke there from Crit. He may still die as S4 indeed is able to pick up that kill. Turns that damage back around onto RTZ.
Support for support. I don't think either lane really cares too much about that. Both of them get to go back and function as essentially a courier, a very expensive courier.
It's a lot of relationships to go back and forth. I was going to open with Limp, basically, and how his extensive history in playing against Evil Geniuses goes back to the days when he was playing in North America.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
And now EG is here in Europe, and he has to play them again.
Yeah, it's interesting. There's a lot of players and teams like that, honestly, that you've seen in NA or even SA once or twice.
S4 trying to get aggressive on his former teammate in
All right, S4 as well. Of course, he was on EG. Yeah, this is an interesting matchup.
And something that I had heard that part of his pickup into Alliance and stuff allowed him to have a little bit more leadership and agency in the team's direction, you know, as a drafter and as a captain, and something that probably was missing when he was on Evil Geniuses before.
Yeah, that iteration of EG with him on it was... They didn't do too hot, did they? I think a lot of people were expecting a lot more from them, but you know that does happen. Remember Universe on Secret?
Sure.
They didn't look so good. It really depends on just like how you mesh with the team, personality-wise, what they need, what you need.
The race for that 4-minute rune, and of course it ends up being top. FNG is going to go for it. The Dissimulate doesn't quite land. The Inkswell completely whiffs, and Limp, going unstunned, gets a little bit more damage on a GPK. Crit's going to come in, blocks in Limp.
So close.
Didn't block him in. He's able to sneak on by.
He almost got it. You can tell FNG from playing Aghanim's Labyrinth, because that's why he was so good at dodging that Void Spirit thing. Because if you get hit by the Void Spirit boss in that game, one hit, you're done. Those mechanics, man.
Isn't this? I think this is the second time we've cast together, and the second time you brought up Aghanim's Labyrinth. This time in record time, 4.5 minutes into the series.
You, dude, it's a game changer, man. You think Void Spirit's popular for no reason?
Okay. What other heroes are really popular in Aghanim's Labyrinth? Viper's really good, right?
Tusk, every game.
Tusk, every game, yeah.
This reason. Look at the damage.
He's very, very dead here, or at least I thought he was dead. The snowball onto him, but he still has the Fairy Fire. That Orb of Venom might just get the kill. Crit needs that last hit, and he gets it right before the LSA stuns him.
Once again, support for support. I think if you're Arteezy, you're kind of happy about this because you're an Arc Warden, so it's like, I'm a late game here. I'm not supposed to be getting kills. And then if you're S4, you're also like, oh, well, I'm an Underlord. This hero doesn't get kills.
Yeah, and you get a bunch of damage from being around that kill. You can turn that around and maybe get some extra CS or denies that you wouldn't before.
True, yeah, true. Unfortunately, you don't get the permanent damage anymore. That was a fun patch.
Yeah.
For Underlord players. When you got damage.
I felt like there was a very, very small window where maybe he was good, but then he just became garbage again.
Yeah, it was.
GPK Looks like he went in for the kill and now is being punished by Limp. Takes a whole heap of damage, and he definitely needs both the bounty rune and maybe even the 6-minute power rune that's coming up.
GPK is doing a really good job in this matchup. I think it also goes back to the rune control that EG has in this game. It's making it a lot easier for him. Void Spirit, you can just sit there and get harassed and just bottle up and then die and then bottle up again with the...
Yeah.
Radiant fortified their structures. Attack the
Ooh, he's got the siege creep on Limp. Time to pressure.
Yeah, Limp gonna take some tower shots while he has the bottle. Gotta be careful he doesn't take too much, though. Just trying to keep that siege creep alive. This was not worth it, Limp. I mean, I've seen plenty of players make that mistake. I made that mistake a time or two, but as a mid laner, to try that badly to keep your siege wagon alive and put yourself in that much danger, that just looks silly.
Yeah, you can tell that, like, you know what he's going for, though. You know,
Yeah.
you know that it's like, I'm a Jakiro. I'm supposed to win this matchup. I'm supposed to put a lot of pressure on his tower. And then all of a sudden you give a Void Spirit a kill in an unfavorable matchup for him. It becomes very favorable very quickly. This hero is so good at playing from ahead against almost anything because you just have so many nukes and disables and escapes. I mean, the hero does everything, really.
I think that's a skill in Dota in its own right, is just not overreaching and just allowing victories to come your way naturally rather than trying to force things too much. GPK, this is a very natural rotation for him as the Astral Step is going to be able to get the kill on the Hanskin and slows down S4 as well, but with the creep wave coming in, the flux load no longer being there, not an easy dive.
So nice kill from GPK. Unfortunately, there's not really any tower pressure that can amount for... He's coming from base anyway, so may as well... Oh, the Doom comes out from Ramses.
With that as well, they're going to be able to run him down. Now, FNG is going to provide a little bit of heals here, but it doesn't look like it's going to be enough with Crit here to seal the deal. Now, there is going to be a lot of heroes still coming in here. The TP out from S4. They don't really have any stuns, right?
Not like guaranteed stuns. You need to get kind of lucky. You need to catch him in a Pit of Malice or something like that.
There's the pit into the LSA that will get the kill on Fly.
Okay, nice return kill. I mean, it's something.
Yeah.
I honestly don't think Limp wants to stay mid anymore. I feel like if he does stay mid, he wants to stay here with the team. They need to pressure with this Jakiro together. I mean, he's got level 4 in his third. Like, they want to push with this, right? So you don't want to just sit here and be a sitting duck. Is that what they call it?
Yep.
You're just...
Indeed, a sitting duck.
Where does that come from?
I believe it comes from hunting, which a sitting duck is probably an easy target, if I had to guess.
I think hunters often consider that pretty inhumane, though. I mean, I guess if it's duck hunting season, but I know it's very looked down upon to shoot a deer out of your car.
Yeah.
They're like, you have to do the whole process. Otherwise, it's not fair. So I feel like a sitting duck might, depending on the situation. Anyway. Back to Dota.
Back to the ethics of hunting, and that's what Evil Genius is doing, is hunting S4, and it's an easy kill. An easy head to mount on their proverbial wall. GPK continues to look for more.
Speaking of...
kind of running around at this point.
Speaking of sitting ducks, I honestly feel like Alliance are just sitting in all 3 of their lanes, like waiting to get ganked by EG. They're playing really responsive here, which I think just shows that they're really confident in this Sven versus Arc Warden late game, but I also feel like with the Jakiro mid, maxing out the Liquid Fire, you probably want to start pushing soon. But maybe they're waiting for like Lina level 6, Unlord to get more levels in his Pit of Malice.
You're the optimist here because you're saying, oh, it's because they feel confident. I was thinking the opposite way. I was thinking pessimistic.
You think they're
which
afraid?
is that, well, maybe not that, but I think Alliance just doesn't have the most natural heroes to rotate around and make things happen.
Yeah, they need a death ball basically.
Yeah.
I really think that's all they can do.
And it's kind of too early to death ball, right? It's not like, okay, guys, 4-man up at 8 minutes, you know? Limp doesn't want to move to the side lanes. He wants to pressure that mid lane, but you don't have a 4 position that actively ganks the lanes very well, right? You've got a Lina, you know?
This is true.
Leading off with an LSA stun doesn't sound like the easiest or natural thing in the world.
Yeah, like we saw the pit into LSA. That's kind of the best combo that they have, especially without the Jakiro W.
Yeah.
Not that that's good setup by any means.
Trying to kill the Arc Warden Tempest double, and they should get it here. That's an extra 180 gold. Arteezy, you gotta be careful with that, man.
You also have to be careful, though, with Nico Baby free farming the bot lane, top of net worth.
Yeah.
We have seen this guy carry games from the brink alone. I mean, obviously not alone. There's a supporting cast, but whenever the carry does the this guy is a scary carry. I almost feel like he plays better when his back is against the wall. Like he feeds the pressure. It's like, yeah, sure. Oh no, guys, don't feed. Don't make me 1v5.
Yeah, seriously. This was a conversation we were having the other day. Is like the ability of to clutch, and I think that's something that some players have and others just don't.
Nico Baby has it for sure, man.
Yeah, I think it's a very natural thing for a lot of players. And Nico Baby, he came into the scene, he was naturally clutch, you know?
Yep. And he still has it. That anti-mage game versus, I believe it was 5 men. Man, that was nice. That looked disastrous right until the end. Like but still stayed top of net worth. Same thing as this. Like anytime you see Nico Baby top of net worth, you can never count Alliance out. I mean, obviously, it's fairly even.
So the next question is, does his Sven in this matchup, if he is clutch, like, is it an easy win for him?
I don't think it's easy. I think the heroes other than Arc, it's all about getting on the Arc Warden. It's all about getting on Arteezy. Sven is very capable of doing that, obviously with the Aghanim Scepter, especially once you have that talent for the cooldown reduction on the stun.
Right.
But there is a very difficult supporting cast on EG to play into. What happens if he gets doomed and he can't press the stun? What happens if he gets kited by the Void Spirit? There's Tusk Shards, there's Snowball, like there's a lot.
Walrus Punch is a big one, right? Just that slight disengage where we can see Crit is trying to get that Walrus Punch off. Does manage to do so, but he's going to lose his life to Lagoon up late. Now Alliance finally see their opportunity. Evil Geniuses have overstepped themselves, and in turn, Alliance will try and take that mid tower that they've been looking at for so long. Evil Geniuses not going to give up that easy, though. They quickly re-rally around that mid tower and stand strong. Nico Baby, meanwhile, does take that top tower, though.
I do think that's a pretty interesting play that they just made. This is one thing that I noticed looking at Alliance's games is they do a lot of things that I would consider fairly risky, but very interesting. They'll go and they'll put down deep wards without a smoke, just on a solo support. They'll say, okay, if I die, whatever, it doesn't matter. Like they'll do a play like this where they have Nico Baby pushing top, and then everybody else pushing mid and making space for him while taking the top tower. Like, you'd think you bring the Jakiro to the top lane, right? This is your tower pusher. What's the first tower you get in a game of Dota? It's almost always the enemy safe lane tower. But they realize it's a Jakiro. He can hit from this far away with the level 10 talent. So why not pressure this from afar?
It's exactly like the Dragon Knights, right?
It's like the Dragon Knight.
If you have the ability to poke at this mid tower and you're going to take it eventually, abuse that fact.
It's better than Dragon Knight, honestly, with the level 10 talent. Like, look how far away he is.
Hanskin going to be slowed down by the Flux here. Very likely dead, Hanskin. Going to be able to turn around, get out the LSA. Nice double soulbind into the silence as well. GPK getting some nice damage in, but both of those heroes are super tanky, and as a result, he eventually runs out of damage and has to run down the river. But now Sven's here, and he got the double stun into the Ice Path as well. A little bit extra damage. GPK, he'll fall. No more mobility left in the tank and Alliance. They're just going to swarm into this mid lane. Evil Geniuses, they've certainly lost that tower, and they may be losing more lives as well. Fly eventually dies. Nico Baby just keeps on hunting here because why not? This man at this point, like with an IO behind him, he's looking kind of unstoppable, and he does manage to find Ramses here, almost into the tier 3. They're looking for these kills. Nico Baby doesn't slow down just yet, but with Arteezy making an appearance, they're finally gonna leave this place, and it's all because they've got S4 probably making the calls. Go for it, guys, do the dives. I'll Uber you out of here.
Oh, and they went top 2. Dude, that is... Alliance is playing crisp this game. This is really nice. Like, it all starts from this choice to push mid with the Jakiro and Nico Baby farming top, and then coming in once he's got the Mask of Madness, and then they Uber out to the top lane. But dude, EG, they know.
Yeah,
they've got the Double Doom.
They're immediately gonna smoke up and see if they can get that Soulbind into Double Doom. Actually, they don't have the Soulbind off cooldown just yet.
Hey, that's long cooldown at level 1A.
They didn't really see an opportunity to jump. Maybe they saw the IO, but it's like it's hard, right? You show with a snowball, he tethers away, then the Tusk is pulled out of position, so it's not worth taking that risk. They'll wait for a better opportunity here, wait for the 15-minute bounty runes. Maybe that's when they can catch Alliance, or maybe Alliance will catch EG as they break apart. Look at this nice ward they have up here. They saw that nobody else is there with the Doom, so they're going to be immediately jumping Ramses. Ramses trying to use that movement speed to get out of here, but he's been caught once. Centaur stomped, the Pit of Malice doesn't snatch him up again. Here comes GPK. He's going to be able to pull back. Nice grab there with the Aether Remnant, grabbing the primary target of Nico Baby and pulling him off of Ramses.
So Nico didn't want to commit the ult there. I think with the ult you maybe kill him, but just kind of zoning Ramses off of here. I feel like Alliance probably saw that EG smoke with the ward or something. Just they played around it really quickly. Like it seemed like they knew it happened. They might have seen it with that mid ward, which EG just dewarded at one of the eye spots. I feel like they probably saw that. So a bit of nothing happening. I mean, that tends to happen when you see people smoke, or you just think, okay, this is an obvious smoke. One team just avoids it, the other team doesn't farm because they're smoked.
And especially like other teams, maybe maybe some tier 2 teams, they would have pressured that smoke a little bit harder, right? We smoked, therefore we have to find kills. What the better teams often do is just let those kills naturally occur.
Yeah,
right?
You like smoked for this opportunity to clothesline Alliance into the top lane, but then they sniffed it out.
Great. Oh, nice snowball dodge. Does manage to get that off, but it's still looking pretty grim for him. And Hanskin with the finishing touches there of the Laguna Blade, not messing around, getting that fast kill, immediately just running up to the tier 2, which is being pushed out right now by GPK.
They fourth the wave.
Yeah, they fourth the wave to make sure that GPK can't kill it, therefore stopping this entire tier 2 push that was going to come in from Alliance. So heads up play by them. Honestly, heads up play by both.
Yeah, he's out. It is so easy to pressure these towers with the Jakiro.
Yeah.
You know, this is definitely one thing that I'm not going to call Jakiro mid underrated. I mean, it's a pretty crazy pick, but I could see it being underrated just because of this ability to pressure those tier 2s.
Relocate's going to come back in. Evil Geniuses, they're looking to fight around this area, and they've got the fresh BKB from Ramses. Hanskin, he's going to be the first target here. The Arc Rift out from S-Force, looking to be able to collect the IO, and Nico Baby, Snowball, trying to dodge a little bit of time. They actually cancel it. They decide to fight this one. Are they going to be right, though? An Ace-Well stun onto 2. Nice Soulbind silence onto 2 as well, but GPK being controlled. Good Blade trying to jump away from the Pit of Malice. He does jump back to the left-hand side. Nico Baby, meanwhile, hunting down some more heroes. Going for a fly, getting some damage out onto Ramses. Evil Geniuses, they thought they could take this fight, but Alliance had a nasty trap set up for him. Nico Baby, oh, what a misplay there, as Evil Geniuses thought they could turn onto Nico Baby, but FNG, he pumps up his primary carry in Alliance. Nico Baby is more than healthy enough to be able to run down the rest. This fly's going to be up, and look at this quick TP reaction into the mid lane. They want to try and keep their mid tower alive during all.
Man, they're going to get an 18-minute tier 2. Yeah, I don't think there's any way EG defends this. This is just stalling. 18-minute tier 2.
Yeah.
You do not see this happen these days. That means they get this 20-minute outpost.
Is gone.
Very nice. Dude, whoever made that call on Alliance to cancel the ult on Underlord,
Yeah.
that was ballsy.
Yeah.
Obviously, it paid off. So shout-outs to whoever made that call. But that's like one of those calls in Dota that you question it as it's happening. You're like, okay, I'm gonna say that this call was good if it turns out good, but if it turns out bad, it's like all right, that was a terrible cancel on that ult. Like
Yeah,
that is so risky because it looked rough, and I would guess with Wisp having buyback, it was probably one of the supports. Like, we can fight this. Maybe Nico Baby, because he's the Wisp tether.
Yeah, and he looked so healthy, right, in that fight.
He looked confident.
Yeah.
He looked like he knew he could go in.
He was just always kind of pushing forward, and they were absolutely right, because the damage just ran out from Evil Geniuses.
It did, yeah,
right?
it did. Arteezy doesn't do anything yet. I mean, it's an Arc Warden.
Yeah.
Like it really doesn't do much at this point, so...
And you've got the first step of the counter to the Arc Warden in that Aghanim Scepter from the Sven. It's so scary when he feels like he can take any fight against you, and now he's got that catch mechanism.
Yeah. I do love this matchup though, just between these two carries, because these are two of my favorite like 1v5 carries. Arteezy and Nico Baby are the type of players that even if their team is super far behind, they're always capable of 1v5ing with very little support. Oh, Ramses.
He breaks the smoke, and I think he actually had a good idea of that. Like, he could have committed more for the bounty rune, but he played pretty safe there. Played around his ward that he had on the high ground there.
Yep. I like his choice, too, on Ramses to go for the BKB first after the drums. Like, I really feel like it in this game, with the BKB, he's unkillable until like 40 minutes, and Sven has multiple items on top of him. Like, the BKB just makes him immortal. If he gets a blink, he's killable before Doom. But all he needs to do is get the double Doom off. And they are very likely to win fights, as long as it's on some good targets.
Yeah, speaking of, I think we've only seen that double Doom once, right? It was in that mid-fight, I think?
I don't even think he did it there. I think they haven't actually got the double Doom off. I mean, I don't want to make excuses for Ramses, but it isn't the easiest thing to hit, you know?
I mean, isn't it in some ways more on fly, right? He's got to get that soulbind initiation in the first place, but that's a hard position for a 5 to be in.
Right, and then also, you know, Doom is often the hero that runs in first as well. So it's like, you're just getting stunned up, which is why the BKB is such a good item. So it's just having played with the Grimstroke, sometimes the opportunity doesn't exactly present itself. That'll happen.
Despite having a lot more map control, they've taken more towers. They only have 1,000 net worth lead on Alliance. So while it may look like they're just kind of crushing evil geniuses, EG surprisingly have kept the net worth relatively even here. I feel like the experience is probably a bit more lopsided. But,
I also have that feeling. That's always my gut reaction after a game looks very one-sided, despite the goal being around the same. So I was like, all right, there's got to be a differential in the experience.
Yeah.
There usually is. Kills give a lot more experience than blast hits do.
Aether Remnant is going to be able to get some vision inside the pit. Now, they don't see Roshan exactly. Now they've got some idea. See, it's pretty healthy. They don't have to commit here. They can just kind of poke at Gambit.
Ooh, Arcane Rune.
Yeah, it's a pretty good one.
Very good on Jakiro.
And he bottled it, too.
Yeah. That makes this fight pretty hard for EG.
Dude, look at Nico Baby, man. He just made the call. He's like, I'm going up to the high ground and we're going to catch somebody. And sure enough, they do potentially catch somebody here fly. The Eul Scepter is going to be able to buy him some time, but the Aether Remnant was absorbed by FNG, so Nico Baby was able to stick on a fly and get that kill. He does have buyback. And he may just need to. At the same time, Arteezy did manage to get the kill on Honskin here. Disassemble Lane managed to dodge the Stormhammer. Bouncing back. I think they just want to wait out this Sven ultimate, but not let them get too far away. That movement speed, though, they're so damn fast. Eul Scepter into the Aether Remnant. But it's so dangerous to go down into the high ground. Oh, Pit of Malice from the low ground catches Ramses. But now the Sven, he's put himself into a nasty position. He's really far up. They're going to relocate out. He's away. Reset. Not too far away either.
Did he get doomed? Did I see that right?
No. Dude, still up.
I was gonna if that was a relocate on the Doom, like that is Roche.
Yeah, and I think that's why Ramses was holding on to it. He knew, he's like, okay, they're probably gonna bail him out here. I don't want to overcommit.
Right. You need to wait for the double too. Your Grimstroke was about to respawn, so just wait. Just wait for it.
So good bailout by Alliance, simultaneously good discretion there from Evil Geniuses, and not getting too excited, not being like, oh shit, get him.
I think if you're Alliance too, you're not too concerned about forcing this Roche exactly. It's more like, I'm going to use this Roche to try to get a good fight for us. But EG can't take Roche themselves. Like it's going to take them. They do have the Tusk, but it's still like when Arc Warden is your best hero with Tusk to kill the Roche. Like it's going to take a while.
Another smoke like that, and uses his movement speed to make sure he doesn't get caught.
So value. It's funny because it's some of the plays where nothing happens that are the best plays in Dota.
Yeah.
Like literally just standing on the high ground and then running away. That smoke could have been a disaster. You know who they're smoking for. Who do you go to the triangle to kill? You're going for Arteezy.
Yeah, there's a reason Arteezy hasn't had a whole lot of screen time. It's because Alliance has not been able to connect on their ganks with him. They've succeeded in a lot of team fights, but oftentimes what they wanted was kill on Arteezy, take some objectives.
Yep, it is not happening. He is level 18. Midas in 2020.
Okay, so
Power play.
let's reverse this. I said early, can Nico Baby 1v5 this? Is this the right kind of Sven game? Is this the right kind of Arc Warden game?
I think against every other hero but Sven, it is.
Uh-huh.
And you have the Doom to deal with the Sven. So I think going late, as if you're EG, you're pretty confident. It depends on who.
Here they come. They're searching. Can they get the LSA? Oh, into this Stormhammer Dispel on the Yule Scepter there. The relocate back is going to leave Nico Baby here. He is, but Ramses is too fast anyway. That was an offensive Yule from Lina, right?
Can you target Sven stun during Yules?
I guess you can. Yeah.
I had no idea.
I did that play-by-play like I knew that was going to happen. You know?
I haven't seen that.
I mean, you could use it like the Dispel gets rid of the Yules. I knew that.
Yeah, but that was Lina's Yules.
That was Lina's
That
Yules.
was his friend's Yules.
Yeah, so I was just like,
Shouldn't he be invulnerable? Wait, how could you dispel an ally rolls on an?
well, I think that actually didn't happen. I think he just happened to come down just as he did that.
You think he's stunned before he was traveling, then the Yules went up. There's no way Sven stun takes 2.5.
Oh, he definitely targeted during the Yules, but I think he came down.
We need an instant replay of that.
Yeah.
Can we get that?
Hey, meanwhile, they just take Roshan and they got out with a Dark Rift, which was super cool.
Yeah, that is really nice. That's a very nice play. Oh, he's going for Bloodthorn. On
They
Sven.
did get the Roshan kill and the Aegis, right? I know they got the Aegis, but just wanted to make sure. Limp did have to grab it in the haste, but I don't think they care too much because it feels like Nico Baby, he's got a second life in the eye.
He's got the wisp. Yeah, exactly. So I think this is fine. Man, I really like the Bloodthorn from Nico Baby because it let him blow up Arteezy in like 1 or 2 hits. That's all he needs, and I think that's all he's gonna get. Once again, going back to, I really think the supporting cast on EG is quite good at kiting a Sven around. So in the Sven stun, I think with the Bloodthorn, he can actually kill Arteezy.
Is there any call to like, I mean, I guess you can because the IO. I was just thinking like it would be nice to have Blink Dagger on the Sven as well, just to kind of like bypass all the frontline heroes and see if you can get on top of the Arc Warden, but I'm not sure if you could do that with an IO.
I feel like Sven gets too
Look
big.
at this trap. They're setting up the Tempest double for them to try and fight around it here. Nico Baby, he already jumps in immediately. He's gonna cut. Look at that damage. Holy smokes, and the Yule Scepter. It stops FNGs. He came in to try and save Nico Baby. Now they're gonna throw out the Doom because they got the kill. The Wicked 6 streak is given away. Ramses picks it up and they're gonna get an extra kill on S4 as well. A big trap set up by evil geniuses, and the claws of that trap dig into Alliance and cause some serious casualties.
That was a nice trap. That does not work against a worse team, because a team that's not really good is going to focus a lot less on killing the Tempest double. But you know, good teams try to counter Arc Warden by killing the double because it gives so much gold and XP, especially XP. It gives a ton of it. It's worth more than a hero kill often.
Yeah, and you don't want to be giving up like tier 2s to that kind of attrition. You know, you need to be proactive, and Alliance is trying to be proactive.
Like that's a pretty next level bait. If that's the real Arc Warden that shows up there, it's so obvious it's a bait.
Yeah.
If that's even Ramses sitting up there, it's like, well, he's got a BKB Shivas. That's obviously a bait.
Uh-huh.
But the Arc Warden clone, you think that thing's always on its own, right?
Yeah.
If you're good at the game, that is very interesting. I mean, that's not going to work a second time, but very cool that time.
But maybe one time is all they really needed, because Evil Geniuses, all of a sudden, it looks like they are holding a lot of map control, and they're also 8,000 net worth up. Yeah, they lost Roshan. They gave up an Aegis to a Jakiro, but I'm not sure if that matters. I personally did not. I was like, man, isn't this... Like, won't Sven outcarry the Arc Warden? But this is beginning to be a little bit of a landfall in just the net worth difference.
So he switches from the full Bloodthorn to BKB, which I think is absolutely the right choice. He is getting way too kited and stunned in these fights. And I think probably if they lose this game and if they go back and look at it, probably something that they're going to talk about is we probably should have had a BKB on the Sven before Bloodthorn, and then eventually go into the Bloodthorn. I do really like the item just in general, but I think you probably get the BKB first after that fight. I mean, also you probably say, let's not kill the Arc Warden clone. That particular instance.
A bunch of heroes, and they got the right one that they needed to. They need to kill S4 as quick as possible to prevent the Dark Rift, or maybe Alliance can actually win this fight. Never mind. The jump in, the Stormhammer brings GP Gate down. Almost They manage to finish him off, but he astral steps away. Is he going to be able to TP out? He tries to go for the TP. Looks like he's good for now. Limp is going to die to RTC. That's just the Aegis, though. Evil Genius is a blink away. Managed to dispel off that hammer and get away from him. Ramses, he's just trucking forward. Has to turn around and go for S4 because the threat, the Dark Rift, they're going to try and finish him off before he gets away. But a good save by S4. He gets out, saves his own life. They lost their 4 position and their Jakiro. And I can't even say 2 with a serious face at this point in time.
Yeah. This is what you would expect from a Jakiro in the 30-minute mark. We were talking about Jakiro versus Lina, and Lina just kind of feeding and feeling like a support. But
yeah,
Jakiro has similar issues. Maybe a little tankier, but still a problem. Ramses, he's in deep, man.
Yeah, he just does not seem to give a damn.
I really like the choice to go for the Blink Dagger on Fly. I would imagine Crit probably has one too, or maybe he's going for one. Although he doesn't actually need it. Like, if you think about this, if you're on EG, you're either Arc Warden or you have some sort of disjoint for the Sven stun. Obviously, Void Spirit has tons of disjoints. You have the Grimstroke who has the Blink. You have Doom who's going to get a Blink and he has a BKB, and then you have Tusk who has Snowball. And then BKB on Arc Warden. How do you Sven stun in this game? Nobody's Sven stunnable.
Yeah.
This is a very interesting way of dealing with it. I was actually talking with Fog backstage, and we were like, the only this new Sven is to get disjoints.
Yeah.
Nothing works. You can't Ghost Scepter it because he dispels it. You can't Yule Scepter it.
Yeah, Force Staff, you're not going to get far enough away. Yeah.
It just goes with you if you force.
Yeah.
You literally have to disjoint it. So I think this is interesting. This is the first time that I've seen this happen in a game where the Sven in the last fight felt kind of useless. Like, you couldn't get on anyone.
Yep. I mean, even Fly. Like, Fly, of all people, you figure, like, oh, that guy's definitely dead.
He should be dead.
All of a sudden, he blinks away. Oh, Stormhammer. Kind of wasted.
And that's exactly why he rushed the Blink instead of an Ether Lens into Blink or a Glimmer into Blink.
Yep.
Because both of those 2 items, he's not going to finish the Blink if he gets those. Because he just dies to Nico Baby in every fight.
4-man smoke up behind Nico Baby here. There is a lot of EG members here as well. And RTZ can always boots a travel in, especially since they still have the glyph up, so they can protect the creep wave and have... too far forward there and thinking maybe he could save Limp. Dark Rift out. Should get him away, though. He's good to go.
I really love this idea as a Sven counter, actually, disjoints.
Yeah.
Like, this seems really good. I seriously don't see how Alliance has the damage to win a fight if Sven isn't able to stun people. If EG doesn't just waste their Blinks and their BKBs and Tusk Snowball and these disjoints, I don't see how they have any damage on Alliance. I'm seriously concerned for them in this game. They need to get some crazy pick-off.
They're beginning to get clamped in here. The Soulbind onto 2. They do manage to get the double Doom out as well, but Ramsey's already taken so much damage because God Strength had already gone out, but now it looks like they're just trying to retreat back to the fountain. It looks like S4 is going to be left behind, but GPK with this double damage, he really wants to kill this Sven, and he's so close to getting it too, but Nico, he dodges away from the natural set. These Simulators coming in the heal, coming up from FNG. Now the turnaround, the silence is out onto GPK, and GPK, he stumbled a little bit too far in his hubris. He tries to get the Sven killed, but he's found, caught, and killed underneath the fountain. And Alliance, they get their chance to respond.
A little deep, but also very nice mechanical play from Nico Baby there. The way he dodged that, running into the trees, dodging the Astral Step, and then he also dodged the Dissimulate as well. Like, he had 2 clutch dodges there.
Nico Baby says it's time to go. They just straight up, no Doom, it's time. Guys, let's try and take a fight. But he also doesn't have BKB. He's taking so much magic damage, he just dies. He's dead, and that's a dieback on the IO as well, so they're both out for over a minute.
What just happened?
Nico Baby made a call, man, and I don't think the rest of his team was ready for that call. Nobody else was really that close to the triangle. S4, oh, nice block in there. Too bad they can't really take advantage of it. Now gonna have to hold with S4 on his mid Jakiro, something he's played 7 times before. No stranger to this hero, but how How's he going to be able to showcase the power of Mid-Jakiro 35 minutes in against an Arc Warden that's stacked to the gills?
Radiant's bottom tower faces a stiff
You know, they are doing a decent job at holding the high ground. But with this clone pushing that back to Fountain, it doesn't look like that's going to last very long.
Yeah, now they get time to swing on this tier 3, but still, they have to back up soon if they don't want to take a 5v5. 10 more seconds till the Sven is up. Are they going to try and completely disengage? It's looking like no. They're going to kind of still stick around and see if maybe they can take a fight around here. S4 pulled into an awkward position as this Tempest double just keeps on laying out the damage.
Oh, he's
Nico
ulted
Bait,
on
he
Nico.
popped the God Strength. He is convinced he can catch somebody here. Pulled in by the Aether Remnant, though. Not able to catch up to Arteezy until, is he going to dare the high ground? Slowed down a little bit more by the Yule Scepter, and the rest of the team is so far away.
I mean, yeah, just bait out the Sven ult and walk high ground again. I mean, you think they can just go right into Alliance's triangle, I think, once the Sven ult is down. I don't see why you wouldn't. I mean, Fly's already there. So is Ramses.
Yeah.
They get all the bounty runes as well.
They've got that high ground ward occupying this enemy space.
Roche is up now, too. I mean, I suppose you just take that, walk high ground. It's very hard for Alliance to fight this Roche.
Cheese would be pretty massive for GPK. I'm not sure. Do you think you give the Aegis to somebody other than the Arc Warden? Because I haven't seen Arteezy targeted.
It's true, but I feel like it's safe to give it to him. I mean, he has 30k net worth. Like, he has 10k more net worth on the next guy in
That's
this game.
true. It would be a little silly not to give it to him.
It just feels safe. But it is EG, so, you know, maybe they'll go for the more high-risk, high-reward play.
Alliance, they know this Roshan's going on. What they may not know is that EG, they just picked up a double damage. GPK. Crit jumps forward and tries to catch some of these backline heroes. And here comes that dude before the God Strength and before the Suns can be laid out. He gets the Centaur stun in GPK. Oh, they managed to get him just before the Dark Rift could bail him out. FNG, did you see that? He was surrounded by so many Spark Rays.
They should have just let him instantly die to the Spark Rays,
Yeah.
just to traumatize him.
Aether Remnant and like 3 Spark Rays, maybe more.
Yeah,
That's dirty.
it is dirty. That's greasy, I'd say.
Oh, he is level 25 too, so he's got the upgraded damage on that.
Yeah.
Roshan was
Gem picked up.
to the dire.
Okay, so they do get the Aegis to GPK. So they feel like Arteezy may not just...
I get the logic. I mean, I could see Arteezy making that call. He's got the BKB and Satanic, so he can just BKB travels up if he wants.
Anyway, GBK is doing his job. The more confident he feels and just going in, right? Because he is drawing attention away from Arteezy.
Yeah, for sure.
So.
And he has the Genos Wall. This gives them a massive amount of map control. Just deny all that vision.
Yeah.
Raise a defense for their bottom barracks.
14 seconds left on the Sven. And Evil Geniuses will manage to take that first lane of barracks of the game. 25,000 net worth up as well. They can't just keep on sieging. They've got all the advantages they could possibly hope for.
Cheese on crit. Man, you're totally right that they want to give the people that are just jumping in and being maniacs
Yeah.
the regen items this game. Because they know Arteezy is just going to be a turret hitting towers, so... I think that's an interesting call. I think that's a cool call. I think most teams would probably go R4 just because it's safe, but I think this is a fascinating call. Oh, he pops the ult on Nico Baby.
Okay, and... Oh, geez, Arteezy put down some serious damage onto S4 there. Saved by the Glimmer Cape, but eventually Tempest double fades away. Alliance, are they going to make use of this God Strength? Are they going to find an opening anywhere here?
If you're EG, don't you just wait now? Like,
yeah. Well, I'm not sure if they've seen it. They've definitely seen it now.
I think they saw it with the clone. I think they did see it. Because, I mean, it looks like they're waiting.
Jesus, S4. Somebody has to take up the Spark Race just to make sure he does indeed survive. Nice block in once again. But it's so hard to deal with this Tempest double underneath the bubble.
Yeah, man, as if it wasn't already annoying to deal with, and now he's got the Satanic. You have to kill it twice. They're just slowly losing their base. There's so many things being dropped on the ground that you can't walk into without taking damage.
Ether remnants and spark race everywhere. They kind of have to clear some of them out. That's why you see like S4, FNG sometimes pop some of them. Immediately cleansing off the sounds there from GPK, catching him inside of the Pit of Malice, but nobody can really follow up. They have to deal with this Tempest double first, which is going to pop its BKB and focus on the melee barracks. It's dead. Alliance, they've got to find a way around this siege. They cannot take it to the face any longer.
This is toxic. This is borderline toxic. The way that they're sieging here, it is so difficult to stop this. A worse team, I think, would run up with all their heroes and try to engage in some sort of fight, but EG, they just make the call to literally send the clone up over and over and slowly take the base.
Yeah, I wonder if you could actually track RTC's damage from just his hero on enemy heroes, because it feels like he has had very little contact with the enemy, and that's exactly the way you want an Arc War game to be.
Yeah, I think he probably has more damage on the buildings with his normal hero than on heroes. But this is the perfect hero for him.
Oh, jeez.
That makes their sieging a little bit easier.
Yeah, and that's going to make Alliance's decision-making a little bit harder because they're going to be under the gun. They're going to be, that timer's going to be picking up a lot faster when a leveler is chopping down your tier 3. Dual Scepter, they're off on the side here, the Spark Race. They could actually saw some of them. GPK is going to jump in, manage to silence the two of them, but at the same time, they do manage to get a Sven right on top of the Arc War, and he has no buyback too. So already, if Alliance can clean up the rest of these heroes, it'd be fantastic, but it looks like they're a little skittish and going too far forward. As for, probably they should be. Both him and Hanskin are going to be caught here, as Ramses is more than strong enough, as is GPK, to be able to run down the rest of these heroes. They're going to buy back on the Lina. Sven wants to be able to go back in. They deal with the Tempest double, have to deal with that first. GPK, he'll TP out, and the rest of Evil Geniuses is on the run. The relocate, looking to be able to cut him off at their tracks. Oh, the blink away from Ramses. They're pretty fast, though. Can they catch up to him in time? They can't. If anything, again, they have to be scared of a potential turnaround.
Crit, you maniac.
Yeah, seriously, look at them. They're like,
serious?
they want to go without Arteezy. This feels unnecessary, but they're going to try. They do have the Doom up. They do have the double soul bind if they can actually get it, but Fly, he gets caught in the process of trying to blink it. He does manage to get off that double soul bind, though. The Doom is going to go off as soon as the silence fades away, but he gets stunned up first. The LSA follow up the Ice Path as well. Laguna blink, and he get it off. He gets off a center stun, finally turns around. Doom's 1, that's going to be on the Sven. Doom 2 on the Jakiro. A smash to the face, and it looks like the Sven could be taken out, but he's saved by the IO. No, he goes down. It's too much damage. FNG couldn't bail him out. GPK is there to make sure the Sven goes down, and they're going to force that buyback. Crit looking to be able to stop Nico Baby here with a snowball, trying to stop that damage on his GPK. GPK not trying to get out, though, stays in with Ace Well. Now decides it's time to leave, but an LSA stun catches them into the Stormhammer stun. Do they have a little bit more? They do. They've got the Pit of Malice, and now GPK is dead for 100 seconds.
Tower has fallen.
What a long fight. That was... that could have been a game ender. I mean, shout-outs to whoever on Alliance made that call to fight outside of base. I think that...
Oh no! They've lost their tier 4s! S4! He might just die to Dark Rift. It's not going to come out in time. The Tempest double is too strong. They win their fight for the first fight they've won in like 20 minutes, Jenkins, and it comes at the cost of almost all their buildings.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's so late that the gold deficit is so much that there's going to be a cost to anything. I mean, there's so much net worth on EG to work with. I really like the fact that they're like, we need to fight outside the base. If we let EG get it set up into their sieging formation, we cannot break it. So we have to go before they get into that formation. So that's a good call.
Gotta take some risks here. The Soulbind looks like the IO is far enough away. He does not get tethered to that, and he does manage to pull the Sven out of that situation, which he thought was going to be really bad. But now they don't have Gun Strength. Now they don't have IO relocate. Maybe it doesn't matter.
GPK is so essential for these fights. I think they need to wait for him to respawn on EG before going.
Why do you think he's so important?
I think he needs to be the guy that's going in and getting things started. If they want to fight...
Well, Alliance, they feel the same way. They're going to just go up into the high ground immediately. A little bit blind, but it doesn't matter. As you said, GPK is important, so they're going to try and take the fight while he's down. They got to make a few risks. Bring down the Tempest double, 300 gold. So much trouble to deal with, though, as they're down 36,000 net worth.
Myself right.
See, the question here is like, what happens when all of EG has respawned and we're not having this chain feeding thing happening? Like, there is bleeding happening. They are hemorrhaging on EG. And I think that's the only reason that this is looking good for Alliance at the end here. So what do they need to do? Rapier on Nico, baby?
Yeah, probably. I mean, they just need really fast damage. Looks like he feels like Satanic is better for him.
Yeah. I mean, strength item on a hero that gets immense amount of bonus damage based on his strength. I feel like it makes sense. Gives him a second life.
I don't disagree with the Divine Rapier just because it feels like he needs to pump out as much damage in like 2 hits.
Yeah,
like you
but
were kind of saying.
The problem is it's like a Sven Rapier is not a great Rapier here.
That's true.
If
it's
it was
a pretty bad one.
If it was a Gyro, it would be a guaranteed thing, but I'm not even sure if a Sven Rapier is that game-changing.
Yeah.
If he didn't have Bloodthorn, I would say the Bloodthorn is a game-changing item. It's crazy. He can just man-fight this. Are you serious?
Satanic. That's 4 heroes.
Arc Warden late game is obnoxious, man. You look away for a second, it's like, oh shit, our tier 4s!
Yeah,
What's happening? Is that the real one? I don't know. He's got a cosmetic. I can't tell. They look the same.
It's funny. They could just lose in so many ways here, right? They could get Mega Creeps by a flat-out siege. They could get bum rushed by 5 people from Evil Geniuses. They could get distracted and have Arteezy, whether it's his Tempest double or his actual hero, hitting the throne.
A lot of ways to lose. Pick your poison.
Yeah, that's kind of what it feels like right now, is that Alliance have to, at the risk of losing some other way, choose how they're going to attack Evil Geniuses, right?
Yeah.
Maybe they go outside their base and they get backdoored, and they lose their throne. But the alternatives are not looking any better.
Do you want to die slowly or quickly? That's the question here. You want to let them just whittle away at your base?
But there is still hope. They've shown they can win fights. They've shown they can kill this Arc Warden. They can kill him relatively quickly, too, if they can just get on top of him. But that's the true issue here. It's the Tempest double. Once again, pushes itself up into the high ground. They try and deal with this Tempest double as quick as possible, but it never happens quick because it's got BKB Satanic. Eventually does die here, but a hefty amount of damage is already on that tier 3.
Once again, we have the formation. They're just sending all these remnants and spirits and waves of paint and all of this bullshit up at the high ground.
Ramsey's attempts at initiation. Soulbind on to 2. Okay, Ramsey's gonna pop his BKB. See if he can chase down these heroes with Ace. Well, they do manage to get a stun on 2. Kill it at 2. Not enough buybacks there. By Nico, baby. He gets onto the real TC, but look at him. He's getting ripped apart. And he's got no buyback. And that's just GG. Evil Geniuses will win with this Arc Warden strategy. Looks so gross, Jenkins, and so good at the same time.
You know what? I think from what I've seen, a problem that Alliance has is that they have a really good early game. They make quite a few really great calls come mid game.
Yeah.
But then there's like one really